Hi, George here. Do you have a small business, maybe an Etsy shop, or possibly you're a professional photographer with a photography studio? If so, then one of your main jobs is going to be removing backgrounds from products. And you can do that here with today's sponsor, Aiarty Image Matting. Now, what this program does is quickly and easily uses AI to simply remove the background. This also will come in and give you a black and white matte along with that, a background in any color or white or image if you want to, and also a clear image, all in just one shot. It's very, very quick, very easy to use. An important aspect of the Aiarty Image Matting program is that it runs entirely on your computer, which means that it's a safe environment for working with client pictures. Let's first take this image out of here. I'll just right-click over here and remove selected. There we go. So the first thing you'll do, you'll land at this page here, is you need to bring in some images. Simply click on the arrow up here or drag and drop images from a file or folder. We'll click on this and I'll bring in 4 images here. Let's just grab some purse images, standard product style images. Bring these in. There we go. Pretty straightforward. We have this one already has a white background, but there is some shadowing going on in here. Here's a combination of 4 images and here's one in a natural surrounding. All of these can easily have the backgrounds removed here with Aiarty Image Matting. Now, when you're at this point, you can use the scroll wheel to scroll in and out of your image. So you can get in nice and tight if you want to. You can use the hand to move the image around like that. Down below here, we have 4 images open, and this does show you one very important aspect of the Aiarty Image Matting program, and that is that it can do batch processing. See it right down here, bottom right-hand corner, batch export. It'll export all the images you have opened up in here. So it's great if you have a lot of work that you have to do and you want to automate that as much as possible. This is a great way to do that. Okay, right-hand side at the top here, we have the image. Below that, you can check out your hardware right here. If you're not sure about what your hardware is, you can go over here where it says Aiarty Image Matting, upper left-hand corner, and do a hardware check right there. And then Aiarty will go through and let you know what it is you have on your system. Below that, we have the AI models. There are 4 of these: Alpha Standard, Alpha Edge, Edge Clear, and Solid Matte. I like thinking of these as going from allowing a lot of transparency. Really interesting if you have things like bottles, perfume bottles that have some transparency, it can handle that. And it goes down to the most solid matte down here, which is solid matte. I personally prefer the Edge Clear because it goes for nice hard edges, but it tries to give just a slight softening, which is good if you have any kind of curves or odd shapes in here. It won't give you any jagged edges. The bottom one here, solid matte, is good if your object has real hard, sharp corners or edges, but most of the time I go for the Edge Clear. Notice that below each one of these, there is a real quick description right down there. There's Alpha Edge, there's Edge Clear. If you want more information about the different AI models or anything else in the program, there's a great help system that's up here, right down here, and help. This will bring up their online help. Very feature-rich and complete manual on how to use this program. So you're never without help on that. Okay, so we've chosen our AI model right here. Let's come down to the next step, which is edit. If you want to, you can come in and enhance the AI. I don't really have mine just set up more detailed just as a standard, but if you want to enhance, just click on the enhance image. And it's going to go through and use AI to try to improve your image. So if your image is a little soft, possibly a little out of focus maybe, you can use this to try to gain some of that back again. You also can upscale up to 2 times if that would be useful for you. Frequently, upscaling is good if you're trying to bring in more detail. Now, I don't need to be doing any AI enhancement on this. These are all fine, so I'll leave that one alone. You also can quickly do a flip, rotate, flip, left and right, up and down. And if you want to, you can have the settings in here apply when you do your batch export. Now, it's kind of interesting on this one, in that if we come in and make any adjustments on the matte in here, those will be overridden when it goes to the batch export. So only use the batch export if you're not planning on doing any cleanup on your matte. We'll talk about that in just a bit here. You also can come in and crop your image. If I use the scroll wheel on the mouse, I can just back out a little bit in here. And notice these orange corners. You can grab one of those and pull this in, pull it around, and actually change the crop on your image. This may not be important at all. It depends. If all you care about is just the image, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to have white and have it at a certain size, you can just watch your crop size down here and then try to find that crop size. If you're not happy with that, just click on reset and it goes back to the original. Again, scroll wheel to zoom in on that one. Moving on down, we have area select. This is the main area where you tell Aiarty which part of the image you want to have processed. Now you can use automatic AI detection. Works very, very well, but I found this is more appropriate if you're doing images with several different things which might be considered subjects in them, or if you're working with portraits, things like that. That works out very well. For most products, I just go with the manual area, click on Add Area. Take your selection tool, just pull a selection right around what it is that you want to have Aiarty work on. That just tells it where to focus its attention when it's finding its edges for its matte. And this is the fastest way to do it. And then below that, we have refinement. And these are things that are sometimes useful, but normally not. Smooth processing will try to smooth out your edges. If you're getting some rough edges in here, you can try to use this. Outline emphasis will try to find the edges more accurately if the selection is having a hard time finding your edges. Balance brightness will try to adjust the brightness levels in here before it finds the edges. Again, that can help it to make its selection in a more difficult situation. And invert alpha mask is an interesting tool, and that allows you to make a mask of the subject, remove the subject and leave the background, which can be used for some special effects like adding in a background or a photograph into text, things like that. Once you have these settings done, just come down here where it says Image Matting and AI Inference is required. Click on Start. What this will do now is the program will go through, use AI to find the image, and then create the matte. This is where the actual work is done. Now, depending upon your computer hardware, this can go very quickly, but even on slower machines, it tends to be fairly fast anyway. There we go, that's done. And now we can use this little slider in here. So here's the before, and here is the after. Notice that it found this edge over here, even though it's in an intense shadow, it found that edge beautifully. And it can do that because it's being run by AI, so it knows that there is an edge in here and it looks for that. And notice over here, left-hand side, it did find the background in behind all this stuff in here. Once the matte is made, you have some options in here. At the very top, you can look at the matte. There's the actual matte. Down here, I have a little bit of stuff showing. We can clean this stuff up using our tools over here, left-hand side. So it's a good idea to take a look at your matte and decide how you want to handle that. We also can add in additional effects. For instance, I can bring in a background. Click on Background. And down here, we can choose to change the color of the background, or we can come in and actually put an image in the background if you want to. It's up to you. Click on that. You can choose from any backgrounds you've already used, or you can browse your computer to find additional or different background images. So it depends on what you want to do. In most cases, though, you probably want the white background or a clear background. We'll be getting both of those. Below this, we do have a feather. Gives you a soft feather edge. We have a blur edge down here. You can go for a straight black and white if you want to on this, or you can go for a pixelation, and you can even change your pixelation level. Just different potential effects. Most of the time, though, you'll be working with the top setting up here, the RGBA. Even though it shows transparency here, this will give you one version with transparency and one version with a white background. Let's go ahead and take care of this little bit of shadowing we see right down in here. Easiest to see by going onto the matte. If you use the scroll wheel on your mouse, you can zoom in and out. Let's go over here, left-hand side. We have some tools to work with the matte here. We can use the erase tool to erase the image. We can use the brush tool. Down here, we have the dodge tool and the burn tool. Now, the dodge tool is what you'll normally use to come in and remove things like this little shadow in here. Basically, it goes through and it looks at the breakout point for the alpha channel and it darkens that down. If I had the coloration here in the white part of this, I would switch over here to the burn tool, which takes care of that side. Now, say I want to get rid of this bit right down here. Go up here and let's go to the erase tool. Click on that. That allows me to erase that out. It's going towards the dark side of things. Just kind of tap it a few times. That erases that out. And here's the RGB. Let's go ahead and process this one and see what we have. To process a single image, just come down here and click on Single Export. Now, it's already done all the hard work, so the processing is just that fast. And what we get over here is we get the matte by itself. There we go. We get an image right here. If you take a look at the name, it says background right there. So this has the white background. This one says subject. This has the clear background. You can't really see it here. So I'm going to open this up in a different program. Open this up in Windows Photos. You can see there the background is transparent on that one. The matte on white and on transparent. Now that we've seen how this works, let's go ahead and go through the whole workflow. We'll do something easy. I'm just going to remove these pictures over here, right click and remove selected. and take these out, or right click and clear, and it takes everything out. Let's go back over here and we'll come down. I have 3 different tennis shoe pictures in here. Let's grab these sneaker pictures, open these up. There we go. And we'll go pretty quickly through it this time. The first thing I'll do is come through and manually select my area, just like that. This doesn't need anything else on this. I have my edge clear, that's what I want. And let's do the AI inference on this one. And that's the process on all 3. We'll just go through very quickly, select the area, do the inference, and move on to the next picture. So you can get through a lot of pictures very quickly this way. Let's do the same thing for our second image. Go over to Area Select and choose Add Area. We'll quickly mark that out. There we go. And click Start for the inference. Now with the manual select, you're just telling Aiarty where your subject is. It will then go in there and find that subject using AI. It does a very clean, neat job about that. Okay, let's move on to our third picture in here. Same thing. Area Select. Let's grab that Add Area. Just like that. And let's start the inference. And once this is finished, we can go ahead and set up and run our batch export. There we go. Now come down to the bottom right-hand corner for export settings. Hit that double arrow. In here, we can choose our format. You have 3 options: PNG 8-bit, PNG 16-bit, and JPEG. Your highest quality will be PNG 16-bit. You can adjust levels in here, but I'll leave that at the default. You can also choose a new output path or use the default path. Let's do a new output path. Choose Browse. And in here, go up to New Folder. And I'll type in Sneakers. We'll go into the Sneakers folder right there. Choose Select Folder. And then click on Batch Export. And it's that fast, as you can see real quick. And again, we have 3 images per picture. The first one is our black and white matte. The second one is our image on a white background, since that's what the default is. And the third one is going to be image on a transparent background. So as you can see, the Aiarty Image Matting program is very useful, very fast, and great for anybody in a production setting where you have to get through a lot of these remove background image jobs quickly and easily. And again, if you want to find out more about this great program, I have a link for that at the top of the description. And there's also a link right there for a discount. Go ahead and take a look at that. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And I'll see you next time.